Hey horror fans, welcome back to room 237. And I think I have just seen the shittiest 80s slasher film. I mean, there's still plenty more out there I haven't seen, but if they're worse than this, then God help me. 1980s, The Boogeyman. Now, of course, this version I have, because it says the original 1980 version, because it was censored for a while. This also comes with Return of the Boogeyman, aka Boogeyman 3. Yeah, doesn't come with 2. I'm not looking forward to number 3, because from what I've read, this has 40 minutes. The first 40 minutes is stock footage from this movie. This movie's a pile of shit. It really fucking is. Just when I thought I've seen it all. Now, first, I thought this was going to be a straightforward slash film. This whole thing with the guy with the knife on the cover, forget it. Forget it. I will say, even the original cover is misleading, but I'd much rather have that. That's way cooler looking. Now, of course, this movie is pretty much forgotten. But if it is remembered at all, it's because I'm Going to Pieces and many other horror documentaries, when the slasher genre was picking up, Siskel and Ebert show, I think it was called Go to the Movies or Goes to the Movies, their critique show, they talked about slasher films. And I've seen this clip where they play a clip from the trailer and they talk about slasher films. I can't remember the clip I've seen. They talk about the Boogeyman or Don't Answer the Phone. But they talk about how it's all about masculinity and telling women to get back in their place and stuff like that. But I've seen a clip of the trailer from Siskel and Ebert. It shows a woman running to her door. And it shows her back to trying to open the door. And slashes come on the back of her shirt. Of course, you don't see a knife or anything, so I'm thinking maybe it's just bad editing. Maybe it's just cheesy. Maybe there's a charm to it. No, that's supernatural. And reading about this, I heard it was like a supernatural horror film, supernatural slasher. But I'm thinking it might still be a pretty straightforward slasher film. No. And when I say what it is, I'm going to sound ridiculous. It's a haunted mirror. A haunted fucking mirror. Yeah. Well, it opens up with these 2 young siblings. A 3-year-old girl and a 4 or 5-year-old boy, Lacey and Willie. They're watching her mother make out with her boyfriend. She gets pissed. Has her boyfriend tie up Willie in his bed. 3-year-old Lacey goes to the kitchen to get a knife. She frees him. Willie then goes into his parents' bedroom, where they are further making out, and in a very shitty way stabs him. Because when it shows him stabbing him, he goes down very slow, and you can see him stop when he gets down to his back. It's not edited very well at all. And you just see, like, up close, the knife, like, hitting the back with a little bit of blood. You hear the tch, tch. Then you see a lot of it from a mirror. There's a mirror on the opposite wall. So, he kills her mother's boyfriend. 20 years later, Lacey's married with a young son. They live with her aunt and uncle on a farm. Willie's still with them. He never got in trouble or anything. But Willie no longer talks. we get that Willie's a little messed up in the head because he doesn't talk. It shows him, you know, he has a habit of taking kitchen knives and hiding them in one of his drawers. There's even one part where this one girl comes over to get eggs, and he's out in the barn, and she tries hitting on him, and he starts to strangle her, but then he sees a mirror in the barn, and he stops. Then he goes over and he just starts painting the mirror black, and I'm like, can't you just get rid of it? But then we see that all the mirrors in the house have been painted black. Lacey's having violent nightmares because she thinks she's responsible for the guy getting killed, and because she gave Willie the knife. She's also haunted by him himself, the mother's boyfriend. Her husband, who's a cop, takes her to the old house, which is lived in by two teenage girls, a young boy. Their parents are always gone. Their house is for sale, so they're like, yeah, go ahead and take a look around. So they're looking around, and the young boy comes out of the shower yelling, a boogeyman. He's a kid that pranks people. So they get into the bedroom, and the mirror is still there. Lacey snaps and smashes it. That's the catalyst for the whole movie. His soul was trapped in the mirror. I can't make this up. And when she smashed it, she freed him. We know this because the husband picks up all the pieces and takes the frame back to the farm. And then he puts it back together. We see everyone's sitting around the mirror at the farm, and he put it all together perfectly in like no time. Except there's a shard about this big missing. And she's like, he said, you see nothing, just a regular reflection. She's like, yeah, regular reflection. Which also, she has like a hypnotist psychiatrist come. This is earlier in the film. And he puts her under hypnosis. And it's very shitty. Like, her eyes are closed and she goes into this voice like, get away, get away. And her face does all this bad acting like, I mean, it looks like a shitty sci-fi. The effects are... the blood... Whoa, yeah. Didn't even mean to do that. The blood effects are fine. But holy fuck. The one shard he missed is still on the floor in the bedroom at the house. It's about this big. Don't know how he missed it. We see it... We hear a heartbeat and we just see it glowing red in a very crappy effect. It glows red. There's the older sister is cutting her hair in the bathroom, and we hear breathing like Halloween. This movie was also called a Halloween ripoff. Blasphemy. Because this movie's a piece of fucking shit. The only thing related to Halloween is that I guess it's a slasher film and you hear breathing, so it's like someone's there. She takes the scissors in her hand like she's overacting with the hand. She like stabs herself. Looks alright. The brother then climbs a lattice and is gonna pop through the window. He pops through the window, he yells Boogeyman. And there's like a lower shot looking up at him. The window slowly comes down and you literally just see him go. And you hear the very poor effect. So then the other sister is doing laundry. She finds the shard. and like her hand's doing this. She goes in the bathroom, rinses the blood off, sees her dead siblings. I don't even remember what happened to her. I just got done watching it for the first time. Don't remember what happened to her. I was falling asleep. I dozed off a couple times, but went back and rewatched some stuff. So then they're back at the farm, and it's fucking shitty. She has her psychiatrist come back over, and pretty much it's just, you know, the ending. This movie's 82 minutes. It's not even that. The sequel is 76. 40 minutes of that is stock footage. So you get just a half-hour movie, and I heard that movie's beyond terrible. Oh, what do you get? Someone goes out in the barn and sees the uncle way up high with the pitchfork in his throat. There was one creepy shot of like a closet in the barn. You see like a hand over the door and a hand over the door here, and it's all dark. But when he opens it, it's the aunt just wrapped up in a garden hose. She's dead. There's this crappy effect where a shard comes off the mirror, and like it goes, and then it just kind of goes onto Lacey. Very poor reverse effect. Of course, it glows green, and she's doing that. The husband is doing like this. Blood's all around his eyes. They call a priest to exorcise the mirror. He's doing his thing, and you just see like knives fly into his back. Poor effect. Then he's like with the cross, and blood starts pouring down his head. For the most part, the blood looks alright. Just the way everything happening is shitty. And then she takes it off and she starts crying. They destroy the mirror. Now, Willie can talk now. Willie can talk. Willie and Lacey are at a cemetery. The son's playing with someone. If he's in the movie more, I forgot who he was. Oh, because part of the mirror is stuck to the bottom of his shoe. That happened earlier in the film. I missed it. So they're talking about how they're moving, and it keeps showing the kid's feet. And he's jumping up, saying like yay, because they get to go on a trip. Finally, it falls off. They're walking back to the car. You see it kind of shimmer. Then it pans back, and you just hear the breathing again. Piece of shit movie. Worst 80s slasher I've ever seen. I would rather watch Humongous. I didn't even hate Humongous. I just said I felt bad for that movie. Just looking over at my slashers, I mean, Don't Answer the Phone, which I just reviewed. I can't believe I ranted on that. It's just fucking shitty ass movie. I hate this. I'm really not looking forward to Return of the Boogeyman. The sad thing is that's number 3. I don't even have number 2. Pretty sad. Yeah, I guess it's still a slasher film because you have people getting killed. But okay, originally it was going to be a straightforward slasher film. It was whoever originally wrote it. Don't know who it was. German director Ulli Lommel, known as one of the worst directors ever. He took over, rewrote a lot of it. Then he produced and directed it. And he wanted to add supernatural elements. He is one of the worst directors I've ever seen. I used to have one of his movies called Diary of a Cannibal. Because in ever since the 2000s, he's he's done nothing but like direct-to-video releases. He's directed over 50 movies, almost all of them critically panned. He's not as recognized as a terrible director as much as like Uwe Boll. But like just looking up some of his stuff, because he had a string of movies in the early mid 2000s, all of real life serial killers. Zodiac Killer, BTK Killer, Green River Killer, Black Dahlia, Curse of the Zodiac, Night Stalker, Son of Sam. I've never seen any of those because I've seen Diary of a Cannibal, which was about the whole Craigslist cannibal over in Germany. And that's the worst movie I've ever seen. And I guess none of those really don't have much to do with the actual real life serial killer, so I have no reason to see him. But yeah, this guy is just a fucking shitty ass director. He is known as one of the worst. And this is known as one of his good movies. Fuck me, man. Definitely the worst slasher I've ever seen. Again, I'm watching it. It feels like a 90s low budget. Like the effects, the supernatural effects look like something from the 90s. Like the glowing shard of mirror, how it goes into her eye, the voice and the acting she does. It feels like a mid-90s low budget film. This does not feel like a 1980 slasher, which are usually pretty fucking good. Friday the 13th, Maniac. I'll even put Don't Answer the Phone, which I just ranted on. Piece of fucking shit. I fucking hate this movie. I cannot believe. The trailer makes it look, or at least that clip I saw, because I looked it up. And the trailer's longer, but the clip I saw, like on Going to Pieces from the Siskel and Ebert show, looked like it was going to be another straightforward slasher. It's not. It's a supernatural slasher. I don't like supernatural shit to begin with. Unless it's like The Shining or John Carpenter's The Fog.